Tonight on The Al Denson Show, join Al and his guests. Author and speaker Donna Otto. Musical guest Jeff Calhoun. Answering your email questions, Dr. Tim Clinton. Now, here's your host, Al Denson.
Woo, woo. Yeah! Woo! Hey, welcome to the Al Denson Show. Now, this is kind of a unique show for us because if you're just watching this show for the first time, I'll explain it to you. What we do is the purpose of our show is to get parents and their kids to kind of get a little bit closer on some of the issues that separate them sometimes. And right now, we've found out that parents are always saying, you know, sometimes I don't like the friends my kids are picking. Well, today we're going to talk about winning friends that make you a winner. And you got to hear the band coming in. Jeff, man, he's one of my incredible friends. I also look back at my life. I think some of my best friends were my brothers, my older brother and my younger brother, man. And they're just kind of like those lifelong friends. And my older brother, he was like the good one. You know what I'm saying? My parents, you know, he was scared of my dad and stuff like that. And he was the one. Well, we saw what happened to him, and we figured, you know, the more, the younger and the younger you get, the more you can get away with, you know. So I was the next one, and then my little brother. And me and him, we shared a room together, so we figured we could get away with anything. And he was my partner in crime. And we just, I mean, we had a blast doing different things together. And we, everything we did, we said we're just going to stick together and do it, you know. Because, man, that was my friend. Well, then I had a wise man say to me, I heard this one time, he says, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Because, you know, God created us with three basic needs. And those needs are, one, to feel loved and accepted. Two, to feel significant. We all want to know, feel significant. And three, we all want to know that we're not alone. And that's how significant friends are. You know why? Because friends can actually meet all of those needs. In fact, you know, Jeff and I, we go to public schools all the time. And when we went to those public schools, we asked kids, why do you think friendship is so important? And here's what they had to say.
I think friends are so important because if you're going through a hard time or if there's something that's wrong and you need somebody to go to talk to, that you can have that friend or special person.
I think it's also important to have friends just to have people when you just want to go out and have a good time.
If you just need someone else's opinion that you, someone that you trust.
You feel comfortable because, you know, you can talk to them and you can tell them whatever's going on and you trust them.
Well, as you see, friendship is really important. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but students that you're watching this show, listen to me. When you graduate high school, all the friends you have in high school right now, you will probably not see 95 to 97% of those friends again the rest of your life. But yet, friendships are so important. We need them. We desire them. Because everybody wants to know that somebody thinks they're okay. Well, listen, there's an old Chinese proverb that talks about how important it is to pick your friends. It says like this: he who sleeps with dogs arrives with fleas. He who runs with wolves learns how to howl. So I'm trying to tell you, the company you keep is who you become. And we're going to talk about some answers to some questions like, how do you make right friends? How do you keep right friends? And how do you know that the friends you have in your life are going to influence you to do incredible things? Because what we want to do is we want to make you understand that winning friends is what makes you a winner. In fact, I want you to get a pen and a piece of paper because in a minute we're going to give you the address. Because we've written this book for you, and this book is a gift from us. That means we're going to give it to you if you simply write us. So I want you to stay tuned. We're going to talk more about friendship right here on The Al Denson Show. So hang with us.
Just sometimes when you don't want to be by yourself, to know that there's somebody that you can call and just say, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat or go to a movie or something like that.
If you don't have anyone else to count on, you can always go to your friends. Like my mom's my best friend, and I can always count on her when someone else isn't there for me.
When you have friends, there's someone to lean on and someone to talk to, and whenever you know you feel down, they'll be there for you.
Hey, welcome back to the Al Denson Show. Now, you know, this is the part of the show where we always get to interact with you guys, and we actually almost love this part the best simply because we get to hear the questions that you're asking us, and it challenges us. It makes us go to the Word of God. It makes us do some research and try to figure out exactly what God's Word says about the issues you're facing. Now listen, I got Dr. Clinton here. He's the president of the American Association of Christian Counselors. And every week we take two questions, one from a student, one from an adult. And if you've got a question for us, I encourage you, email us. It's aldenson@aol.com, or you can hop on the website, push a bunch of buttons, click a bunch of pages. It's www.aldenson.com, or simply write us in the mail at the post office. It's P.O. Box 220, Grapevine, Texas, 76099. Now that I gave you all that, let's talk about these questions. Now, Tim, here's what the student wrote. The student wrote, my friends and I are starting to go places that we know are wrong. Well, we still go to church together, but I don't want to lose my friends. If I say, no, I'm not going to do those things anymore, I feel like I'm trapped. What should I do?
Man, Al, we've all been there, haven't you?
Absolutely.
The issue of influence in our lives, we can't deny the powerful impact of peers.
Yes.
Kids in our same grade, or people we love to hang out with who are on football team or what have you. Al, I think the key ingredient to this whole issue of making a decision here is to say, okay, they influence me, but there's a step that goes before that.
Yeah.
And that step is I choose who I hang out with.
That's true.
And there's something about these people that draw me to him or her. However, I have to recognize that's my choice. Now, if I'm getting overly influenced, what am I going to do?
Yep.
I think that's where you got to step back. I think Joseph, when he was faced with Potiphar's wife there in the latter part of Genesis, did this. First thing he did is, how can I do this before God? Always be aware that you have an audience of one. God's
right.
always there. Secondly, he thought about the people around him. Be sensitive to the people around you. Al, you can take a stand and still be cool.
Absolutely.
Can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say no, it at least allows your friends to know
Right.
what your convictions are and your morals are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, this parent was writing. It's really a concerned parent. It says, I am so concerned about some kids that my daughter is now spending a lot of time with. Since she started spending time with them, her attitude and her disposition have changed a lot. How can I convince my daughter that she's making some wrong choices with a friend she's hanging around?
Mom and Dad, part of the journey is realizing that kids, when they hit adolescence, Al, what they do is they're going to move away from parental influence per se and move to their peers, listening more to their peers and what their peers are saying about them. And often we build our self-esteem, by the way, on the basis of what we do or what others think of us.
Right, exactly.
So we're caught up in that world. Recognize that's where your kids are. If you start preaching at them, pounding on them, Al, it tends to drive them away. The best thing to do at that time is to embrace them.
Yes, absolutely.
That's where you just got to move into their world, listen to them, talk to them, hang out with them, do something, get connected with their world for a moment.
And you know what amazes me is how many kids deal with not having friends.
Yeah.
I am so surprised at how lonely this generation is, and they feel so disconnected from their parents.
Yeah.
You know, we want to so desperately to do our best to get materials in your hands and to be able to make shows like this that will help you get your life kind of not only lined up with what gives you peace, but also lined up with Christ, that is the true giver of peace.
That's right.
We've written this book. It's a simple book. It says, Winning Friends That Make You a Winner. I want to give you this book. All you got to do is write us. Our address is P.O. Box 220, Grapevine, Texas, 76099. It's a gift from us. You can email us, aldenson@aol.com, or simply go to the website. We got a bunch of buttons you can click, and it'll put the book cover right on the thing for you. It's www.aldenson.com. Now listen, we're going to continue to talk about trying to make friends, making friends that make you a winner, right here on the Al Denson Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
So I probably look for people that are a lot like me, that have the same interests that I have.
People that have the same morals and values as I do.
I would try to find somebody that doesn't get into a lot of trouble.
Someone that just can relax and have fun, but at the same time be able to be serious.
People that I feel like I can trust.
And somebody that's who they are like all the time and doesn't change for one person or another.
Hey, welcome back to the Al Denson Show. And as you know, we're trying to not only help you get friends, but put friends around you that make you a winner. You know, we have on the show an incredible lady. Her name is Donna Otto. She's from Arizona. And the neat thing about her, she's written all these different books on friendship. So y'all do me a favor. Welcome to the Al Denson Show, Donna Otto. Donna, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. You know, I think the proverbial question that kids are asking is, why is friendship so important?
Well, friendships are important to the building of who we are. I have a phrase I've said for more years than I like to admit to, probably because I admit my whole age, you know. 45 years I've been saying it, so you can guess how old I am. But you are who you hang out with. You are who you hang out with. And you can deny that for as long as you want to. And you can say it's not true, and I'm above it, or I'm different, or I won't be affected. But the reality is, whoever you choose to become friends with is the kind of person you're going to grow up to be like. Who I am is, in part, the people I choose to hang out with.
Well, do guys and girls, do they view friendship different?
Very differently.
Explain.
I think in their heart, at the base of who we are, we all need relationships.
True.
Dr. Paul Tournier, who is a Swiss psychiatrist, now that'll impress you, won't it? But the reality is, he says the human condition, the basic human condition, is we want at least one someone in our life to understand us, to say, I know how that feels. I understand what you're thinking. I know who you are. I know why you feel that way. And so whether we admit to it as guys, which guys are generally not as verbal, or we over-admit to it as girls who say, help me, understand me, like me, you know, from the 3-year-old to the 40-year-old, women especially struggle with, does she like me, doesn't she like me? 3 friends trying to be friends, being left out on the playground. So I think men and women have the same need for that basic understanding. How we approach it, how young men approach it, how young women approach it. It's different. It's just different.
No, I understand. And I know girls, they tend to have more friends around them in their circle than guys do.
Exactly.
I always tell people that's why they all go to the bathroom together. So that's where friendship takes place.
Well,
you know?
it may not be the
Well, I wasn't sure. But
okay.
What tips would you give people that are watching to really make long-lasting friendships?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is that you should choose wisely. And that sounds like I'm going around with a selection process that says, her I like and her I don't, and him I like and him I don't. But the reality is, you get to know someone pretty quickly. You can decide, is this a person who has basic beliefs? Now, we're not talking about, do we do everything alike? As a matter of fact, it's better to have some difference in your life, some people who think differently, who act differently. But at the core of who I am, are you the kind of person who believes like I do? Are you going to go in the same place, the same direction? So start with choosing correctly, and then foster it. By that, initiate some. You know, in the world, 50% of the people initiate, the other 50% follow. So you have to learn in friendship, whether you're a follower or an initiator, to reach out and initiate. Pick up the phone, punch in the email, fax a note, send a card, buy a present, go and visit, initiate some.
Donna, I appreciate you being on the show. Listen, we're not done with talking about it because we still want to answer a few more questions because we want you to win friends that make you a winner. We'll talk about that and some more right here on the Al Denson Show. Don't go away.
Yeah, I'm strapped, BG, with the Father and the Son and the one they call the Holy G. Prayer haters, watch your mouth. Chosen G jumping up in your house. Glory, hallelujah, to all my holy.
Hi, I'm Mark Self, Celebration Ministries. Each week I'd like to share with you just one facet of what Celebration Ministries is doing to reach people for Christ. You know, it is so much more than just this TV show you're watching. We've traveled to hundreds of public schools throughout this year. You know, on any given day you can hear Al's music on the radio. You can walk into Christian bookstores across the country and pick up his music on CD and the books he's authored. You can even interact with us on the internet. You know, God is doing tremendous things through Al and through Celebration Ministries. Just take a look at this one aspect.
You know, I've been doing ministry a long time, and I think the thing that I've noticed the last 2 years is that people are finally saying, I need a safe place where I can talk to somebody about what's going on inside of my heart of hearts. So I want to encourage you guys, if you have a computer, log on to our website. It's simply this, www.aldenson.com. When you log on there, you'll see our homepage, and on the left, you can see all the different categories and places you can click and different sites you can look at. At the same time, you'll notice right there in the front and center, there's prayer requests. And we've created our own staff just to be able to respond to you and to answer you and to help you. And I want to encourage you guys, if you want prayer, if you've got something you're praying about, here's what will happen. When you click prayer request, you'll get a form. You just simply fill that form out. When you get done with that, you'll send it to us. We'll take it. First thing we'll guarantee to do for you, we'll respond back to you. We'll let you know not only that we're praying for you, but we'll let you know what God says about your situation you're going through. At the same time, we print those out. We scratch out your name to keep you confidential. And we got some churches that pray for you. And they will pray for you in that specific need that you have. Also on our website, you can click over to Bible studies. Guess what? You can do a Bible study every single day. And it's pretty cool. At the same time, we get so many different letters from kids on some common topics. And we've identified those to be about 34 topics. And you can run down these 34 topics: anger, frustration, suicide, and there'll be some things that will encourage you and help you. Those topics not only will help you, they'll help you when you have other people that you're trying to help that have those problems. We've also got what I consider to be a great site. It's about our television show. If we're talking about a topic, whatever that topic is, we take all the research and all the notes that we've done, and we create a book on it. And we take this book and we simply offer it to you. You'll click on the TV icon. The minute you get there, you'll see a different page for that. You can click on the booklet offer, see all the covers of the books. Click on which book you want, fill out the form, and we'll mail you that book. It has been amazing to me how many people email us, how many people write us, and just let us know what's going on. And I want to say thank you very much.
I guess I'll just kind of talk to them, try my best to convince them maybe what they're about to do isn't the best thing to do. The first thing I do is go to them, obviously in a loving way, because I know that if I was doing something that one of my friends thought was wrong and they just started yelling at me, I'd probably end up just doing it more because it would make me mad.
If it was something that I could help them with, then I'd try everything that I could.
If they're getting into something like really serious, I guess I'd like go to someone I trust and talk to that person and say, I'm really worried about my friend, could you please help us out here?
Hey, welcome back to the Al Denson Show. You know, man, I consider myself very fortunate because we're talking about friends, and we're talking about winning friends that make you a winner. And man, I am fortunate to have some incredible friends. Man, I got friends that pray for me. I got friends that stick through thick and thin with me, that correct me when I make mistakes, that hang out with me, that'll go TP houses. And I got some wild friends too as well. But the great thing about it is I have the privilege every single week of working with one of my very best friends. You've seen him on the show every week. He's the guy that runs the Al Denson Show Band. His name is Jeff Calhoun, and he's a good friend. And we do high school assemblies together, and we go into public schools and junior highs and just talk to kids about building character. And it's great to have friends, especially when you walk into a public school these days. And I've asked Jeff on this show. He does an incredible song that the Beatles used to do called Eleanor Rigby. And this song asked a question that we found out kids all across America are asking because they're so lonely, because they're searching for friends. And the question they keep asking is, hey, Al, what happens to all the lonely people? So this is my good friend, Jeff Calhoun. Jeff.
Oh, look at all the lonely people. Oh, look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where a wedding has been. She lives in a dream. She sits by the window, wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words to a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near. Look at him working, darning his socks in the night while there's nobody there. What does he care? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Oh, look at all the lonely people. Oh, look at all the lonely people. All the lonely, 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 lonely. Eleanor Rigby died in the church and was buried along with her name. Nobody came. Father Mackenzie, wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one was saved. All the lonely people Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? They belong with you, Jesus. 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 They belong with you, Jesus.
You know, I stop and I realize, man, I'm blessed. I got great friends. It came back to me. I remember we were at that concert in Louisiana. Remember that? Yeah. Got a call that my little brother called my cell phone. We were checking the hotel, getting ready to go to the concert. And he had explained to me on the phone that my older brother just passed away. And man, I remember just came across my face. And Jeff, looking across the lobby of the hotel, he saw it. He said, man, something's wrong. So he immediately went over there, just grabbed me, just held me. And it was hanging on to me. And I remember I said, man, thank God I got friends right now. Because, man, I was just dying and dying and dying. And I want to tell you something. Let me tell you what really makes a real friend. A real friend, number one, is loyal. A real friend, number two, he accepts you. A real friend, number three, not only does he accept you, he lifts you up. And four, a real friend will always be honest with you. I want to read a scripture to you, and I want you to listen real close. It says this in John 15:13. It says, greater love hath no man than this, that a man would lay down his life for a friend. And the mark of a really, really, really good friend is that he would lay down his life for you. You want a great friend? You want an incredible relationship? I know somebody that loved you enough that they laid down their life for you. And that friend's name is Jesus. And you know the characteristics I just mentioned? Jesus will always be loyal to you. Jesus will always accept you. Jesus is always honest with you. And Jesus will always lift you up. But you've got to say, man, I need that friendship. I need Jesus. Jeff said, what happens to all the lonely people? They belong with Jesus. And man, if you're lonely and you don't know how to find a friend and you feel like you just can't make friends, but you want to in your life, you want to win friends that'll make you a winner, I want you to start off by making the best friend you'll ever make the rest of your life, and they'll stay with you and they'll never leave you and they'll always be there for you. And by the way, your earthly friends, they'll let you down. But Jesus will never, ever, ever let you down. I want to encourage you, please, wherever you're at, on your couch, in your bed, wherever you're watching, ask Jesus Christ to come in and fill that hole in your life and be that friend. Yeah, we all struggle with loneliness. We all struggle with making friends. But Jesus Christ will never leave you, and he'll never forsake you. Would you please give God a chance? I understand, you know what? Maybe you say, well, I need to think about it a little bit more. Do me a favor. I want you to write us. See this book? We wrote this book for you, Winning Friends That Make You a Winner. You know why we wrote it for you? Because we want you to have it as our gift, because we want you to find God more than anything else. And if you're sitting there, hey, get a piece of paper, write this down. If you want this book, we'll send it to you as a gift. Simply write The Al Denson Show, Box 220, Grapevine, Texas, 76099. Or if you got an email address and stuff, and you got a computer, go there, type in our email address. It's Al Denson, all one word, at AOL.com. Or if you like the internet and you want to get on the website, you can get this book directly off the website. Our website address is www.aldenson.com. Then you'll see the TV logo. Just click on that, and you'll find this book cover and follow it out and fill out the forms. And you know what? We'll send it to you as a gift. Because more than anything, we want you to make the best friend you'll ever make in your life. You want to win friends that'll make you a winner? Start off by making friends with Jesus Christ and asking Jesus to come into your life and change you. Hey, thanks for watching the Al Denson Show. We want you to tune in next week, okay? We'll be back at you. So, be sure and watch. God bless you. Take care. We receive so many calls and letters from parents saying, help me, my kids are out of control. They have no respect for authority, they're hooked on drugs, they're on alcohol, they don't come home at night. What do we do? Well, I want to tell you about a safe place. This place is called Heartland. And Heartland is about restoring your child through a relationship with Jesus Christ. But they're uniquely different in the fact that they offer work programs to also instill discipline in your child and get a pride of respect for work in there. They have a dairy. They got a farm the kids work on. There's a Christian school the kids attend so they continue to get their education. There's recovery centers that the guys stay in. There's girls' homes that the ladies stay in. They hang out with other kids just like them. They're in Bible studies. They're focused programs. And it's all a part of restoring your teenager through a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's a safe place where you can send your child. If you need help, please email us. We'll send you all kind of information on Heartland. Hey, listen, our kids are worth saving. We've got to act now.
ACB